Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hey everyone, checking in on YELP GWPH PCLN NVDA TSLA daily weekly time frame. This is why I do not trust these YELP bulls. The bears are all over it and in full control on increasing bear volume after the gap and trap scenario. Lower highs. Now we're heading down. The only support we're looking at in the near term, aside from the low of today, 32.08, is down at 31.60. So our new resistance is 34.14. Our lower high has been set. Bears are in full control. The close near the low of the day indicates momentum to the downside into tomorrow. Another bear flag is forming here on the weekly, rejecting from the exponential resistance. And if we do see a break of that 31.60 level, it will be confirmed. And we'll be looking down at the 100-week support of 30.83. The bears are in full control. GWPH. Pulling back from the big upper wick yesterday, the bulls now have to break 120.37 to try and break the lower high pattern, have to establish a higher low, which right now is 117.07. Not very convincing that the bulls will be able to hold that level going forward. We have a very tight pattern on the biotech sector, which is going to break, if not tomorrow, then certainly on Monday. So we'll be watching that as a little bit of an indication as well. The bulls need the biotech sector here on GWPH at their backs in order to try and reverse this downtrend, which we have been in for the past 5 weeks. So 120.37 resistance, 117.07 support, followed by 114.37. Weekly time frame back testing and rejecting from the middle Bollinger Band resistance of 119.89 have to close back above that level in order for the bulls to try and reverse that daily lower high, lower low downtrend. PCLN dump. What stands out to me, the volume. High range, or I should say large range yesterday, with a lot of volume behind it, and today was a red Marabozu. That means the bears controlled the entirety of the day from the open to the close. Lots of bear volume. As soon as it broke 17.55, we knew that weakness was setting in. It was at the end of the day, and all that bear momentum is heading to the downside. 17.39 is the next support. We have broke the higher low pattern, so we were in a bullish uptrend forever. Higher lows and higher highs. Then we set our lower high and now a lower low. The next support on the daily is down at 17.39 and 17.33. Bears have strong momentum to the downside, and if we do get that break of 17.39 and 17.33, we're looking down at 17.20. So the question is going to be tomorrow, how much downside do the bears run with here? And we have the lower Bollinger Band support that's going to be lining up with that 17.39 support. Weekly time frame still very healthy. This is still very healthy consolidation. We could pull all the way back down to 16.50 and still be perfectly fine on this weekly longer term time frame. So we do need to keep that in mind for perspective, but the momentum has shifted now. Once we broke 17.55, bears take over the short term. NVDA, inability to confirm any bullish reversal candlesticks this week, and last week as well. We had a bullish reversal candlestick negated and rejected from the 4-period exponential. Bullish reversal candlestick yesterday, unable to break the high of yesterday, was a red flag, and then a rejection from the exponential resistance again, and a close at the low of the day. So we're looking down at 96.35 as support, and the must-hold level is 95.17. Otherwise, we see a lower high and a lower low on the weekly time frame, and we shift this trend to start favoring the bears. So 95.17 is a must-hold level. We do have our bearish TCG cross, and we are seeing a potential trend change here. And a little bit of a bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern. Here's the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder with the neckline down there at that 95.17 level. Tesla bears in control. We had a nice bear play on Tesla today. We had a double bottom. The low of yesterday was 305.50. The low of today to start was about, I believe it was either 4 or 8 cents above that. Either way, it was a double bottom at that level. So we just patiently waited for that break. And as soon as 305.50 broke, that was the bear signal. We had a descending triangle pattern on the 5-minute time frame. Bounce off that double bottom, a bounce to the high, a bounce off to the low again, and a lower high, tightening range, clear bear break. And then from there, we dumped about $8+ to the downside. Really nice gains for the bears. Close at the low of the day on increasing bear volume. And we're looking for a short-term oversold bounce tomorrow. The hourly RSI is down in the teens. I ideally am going to be looking for a drop first thing in the morning. I would love to see Tesla hit 295. We have this key support here of 294.10 to maintain the higher low pattern. I do believe that the bulls will show up before that level breaks because of the hourly RSI being so oversold. And I do think will be a nice short-term bounce opportunity for at least $5 to the upside. So we'll be playing that out on Tesla tomorrow. But again, it's going to depend on how we open the day and whether we do get a little push to the downside, and then whether the bulls can start to show us some turnaround on that oversold bounce. Weekly time frame is a bearish reversal candlestick from the upper Bollinger Band. Inability to close above that upper Bollinger Band last week, and certainly was not expecting the bulls to be able to close above it this week after the first couple of days of trading. So it's a bearish reversal candlestick after a month of upside. There's a gap on the weekly at 282. That's another target to be keeping an eye on. But again, we are anticipating a short-term bounce, and if we do bounce, we'll be looking for a lower high to form. So maybe even a potential bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern here, where we have our left shoulder, the head, and we'll look for a little bit of a bounce, keeping that 294.10 support. Maybe we'll top out around 305 and then pull back down, and that would be a potential setup. So we'll be keeping an eye on it, but in terms of a short-term day trade tomorrow, we are looking bullish for a quick scalp on Tesla. I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in over the weekend. I hope you have a great forever.